I'm Alexandros Megas, artist, hypnotist, magician, shaman, and this is stuff I think about. What is hypnosis? Is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Are you hypnotized right now? Finally, why am I wearing this stupid mask? Well, I was inspired to make this video because I was just talking to someone about that very subject, and I was trying to educate them a little bit on the subject, since I am, after all, a hypnotherapist. Because the truth is that even in this society, 21st century society, there is a huge misconception about what hypnosis and hypnotic techniques really are. So huge, indeed, that most people have been using hypnotic techniques in their everyday life, and most of them don't even know it. So, where do I start? The current face that we usually wear in our everyday reality is a mask. And that mask is made of conditioning, what we call societal conditioning. And that is, we have created, we have adhered, and we do adhere on a daily basis to what we call belief systems. What is a belief system? Everything that we believe to be true without having concrete evidence for it is what we call a belief system. And we start developing those as little kids, of course, because everyone that comes to us that we believe should be an authority figure, be it mom or dad, a clergyman, a teacher, a politician, what have you, anything that the child will recognize or perceive as an authority figure, the child will accept what they say as if it were God's honest truth. So that kind of conditioning creates a pile of belief systems, one on top of the other, that eventually build what we call our personality, which is our mask. Most people that are trying to create effective change in their lives, they're trying to do it on top of that mask. And that, of course, makes it impossible, because it's like trying to fix the engine of your car by repainting it. So what do you do to create that effective change, that lasting change? You have to then step into what we call hypnotic techniques. So what is hypnosis? Scary. Hypnosis. Hypnosis is a state of mind that falls into what we call a trance. A trance state is something we experience on a daily basis, albeit most of us are not registering it while it happens, and a lot of us don't even know that it happened. So what are some examples? Have you ever walked or driven from point A to point B, and when you got there, you don't know how you got there? The whole process was you were, right? I'm sure it sounds familiar. When this happens, it happens because you are running on autopilot. The subconscious mind is that autopilot, is where all our programs are located, because the subconscious mind is our computer. So the subconscious mind will take over anything that doesn't seem like it's a task that we really actively have to pay attention to. So you get the idea. We fall into hypnosis all the time. Have you ever been in the zone while creating something? Have you ever been daydreaming? I'm sure you've daydreamed, right? This is what happens. You're in a hypnotic state when that happens. Meditated, pretty much the same thing. So, why is a hypnotic state important? First of all, it's important to realize that if we couldn't fall into hypnosis, if we couldn't achieve a hypnotic state, we wouldn't be able to learn anything. Right? Because what is learning? Learning is creating a program. A program is a response-generated action, which means that if this happens, then that will happen. When you're a martial artist, for example, you have those moves programmed into your subconscious mind. If someone attacks you, you don't have to think about it actively. You don't have to think about it consciously, right? Your training will kick in, as the sensei says. And that's where your training is. It belongs in your subconscious mind. So hypnosis is not something spooky, scary, and even foreign, right? It's something that we all experience on a daily basis, and it's something that we all are familiar with. Not only are we familiar with it, but it's so necessary to create change. So the beauty about hypnosis as a practice is that we get to now actively decide what becomes a program. So then we get to take that mask that I was wearing before and remake it, make it into what you want it to be. Because we always, of course, need a mask. In this everyday reality, we need a mask, just like we need clothing when we go out, right? We need to be able to project a face, an intention, our personality. But our personality doesn't have to be what is disempowering us. It can absolutely 100% be what will bring out the superhuman in us, because we all have those, right? I mean, you know the stories. The mother that lifts up the truck that is threatening the child's life in the middle of the street. We have all been in situations, one way or another, that we exhibited behaviors that went above and beyond what we thought we could accomplish because of the circumstances. So your real powers usually by default kick in only when you are in threatening circumstances, or when you are in perceived threatening circumstances. So we don't have to wait for those circumstances to become horrifying so that we can find our power. Do we? We shouldn't. At least I don't think so. Because we can get there with the proper education, with the proper guidance, and with the proper practice. That's what hypnosis does. It's there to reprogram your mind in a way that serves you. Because your mind is programmed anyway, by default. Right? Would you want your computer to be at its default state when you use it, as it came from the factory? No, you want to put in your own settings. Your phone. Right? We program our stuff, our TVs and our phones and our computers and everything. We program those, guys, because we find that these programs are very beneficial. Why don't we do that with our minds? What do you think?